Hey, I'm Bryony Kennedy, and today I'm going to show you how to use our cream contour stick. So for those of you that have been wanting to enhance your cheekbones, maybe you want to shrink your neckline, maybe you'd like to create a more sharp jawline, or maybe you would like to even just decrease the size of your forehead. Simply, you may just want to give your skin a little bit of a healthy glow or enhancement to the existing foundation that you're using. So essentially, contour is just helping to sculpt the face by making certain areas of the face look a little bit darker. So you can use our cream contour stick with any of our foundations, the loose, the liquid, the cream, and you could even use it with the BB. I'm going to show you a really quick way of doing it just before you apply your loose minerals, or in this particular tutorial, I'm going to show you how to apply it at the same time as using a cream stick. You could use this same technique for a liquid foundation or the BB, and then as I said, with the loose minerals, you might like to put it on first and just blend it a little bit before you apply the loose minerals. So let's get started. I have I have put my primer on first, so the skin primer. You might like to also mix that with one of the facial oils, but I am now going to get started with the contouring, and it's a really quick, simple technique that I like to use. So the cream contour stick is quite dark looking, but don't despair. It suits most skin types, even the fairest of skin types. If you find that this is a little bit dark for you, you could even try one of the other stick foundations, like for example, medium tan or medium olive, but this will suit most people. It's in a wind up stick. You don't need to wind it up too far. And what we would like to do is look at contouring the hairline on the forehead, under the cheekbone, and possibly around the jawline and the neck. Now, if you have quite a small forehead, you probably would like to skip this particular part, okay, so just avoid contouring the forehead. But if you've got a fairly even sized forehead or a larger forehead, you may like to do this. And what I would do is just pop a little bit just here. So if you're doing your whole face, you would pop it all across. Now you can see that I've already done half of my face, so you can see the difference. So this cheekbone looks quite enhanced. This part of my face is looking like it's a little bit more sallow, giving that enhancement to the cheekbone and giving some really nice structure around the jawline and the forehead. I have also popped it down my neck just to give a really nice, sharp looking jawline. And for those of you that have got the turkey neck or a neck that's got a little bit of extra skin that you're not happy with, then this actually gives the illusion of a really structured jaw. Now, with this, you would just pop it across the forehead, but seeing as I'm showing you half at a time, just put it about this far down from your hairline, so then you've got somewhere to blend it. If you were placing it too far up, then of course you're going to blend it into the hair. So a little bit down from the hairline, so you're not blending it straight into the hair. I like to miss this area because I like to highlight that particular area, especially when we get older. This can look a little bit sunken in. So what I like to do, as you can see how it dips in like this, I like to put a little bit of highlighter here to enhance it. If you want to use my 3 method though, you can definitely just pop a little bit down there, as I have shown in previous videos. But for this one, I'm going to miss this area. Then what I'm going to do is place it just under my cheekbone, which you can feel, and I'm going to again just start at about there, so I've got this area to blend into the hairline. And a good placement would be just to pop it in line with the edge of your eye or the edge of your eyebrow. Now, the little trip, I suppose, the tip with this is that if you're wanting not to make your face look too contoured or too, I suppose, a little bit more darker than what it would be, is to use a skinnier line. If you're wanting a really contoured, very structured look, and you would like to just increase the overall color or the illusion of the color on the face, then just make it a little bit of a fatter line like this. Okay, so just skinnier, or fatter, depending on what you're trying to achieve. Now again, just stopping it here because you will be blending it down a little bit. We don't want to apply it all the way down here, otherwise you're going to have a really drawn, skinny looking face. Okay, now for those of you that have got quite a square face, or you'd like to create more of an elongated face, and you might like to put a little bit just here as well. You might even like to put it all the way along the jawline. That's completely up to you, so all the way along here. Another little tip is if you've got a broad nose, you might like to run it down the edge of the nose on either side. Or if you've just got a little bit of a bulbous tip like I do, you might just like to put a little bit on the, so it's almost in line with the peaks of your lip, just a little bit there on both sides, and that will give the illusion once blended that the nose is narrower. So just remembering anything that's darker looks smaller, so anything next to it will look bigger. So that's why we're doing this here, to make the cheekbones look bigger and also give that really nice sucked in appearance. Okay, so how do we blend it? I like to do things really quickly and simply, and in this instance I'm going to now apply my cream stick in the medium olive. So I pop that just around the contour, up under the eye, a little bit in there and around here, down the bridge of my nose. So I'm just almost dotting the foundation around the contour. Okay, now some of you may need to pop the foundation down the neck as well. In fact, probably most of you will, because your décolletage is quite dark compared to the neck area. So you might want to, at this point, just pop a bit of the stick foundation down there as well. Then what I'm going to do, because this is all about contouring, enhancing, is I'm going to just put 3 little dots of the liquid illuminizer on top of the cheekbone and a couple in the temple area. So for those of us that want to just give a really nice highlighted appearance, this is a really nice little C that you can pop. Okay, and especially for those of you that have a little bit more of a sunken in temple area. All right, so now that I've done that, I'm going to just simply grab the kabuki brush and start blending. And there we have it, a really simple, everyday way of contouring and highlighting your face that's effective and takes less than a couple of minutes to do. Now, for those of you that would like to enhance the contour even more, you can, of course, get your contour stick and apply a little bit more in the areas that you would like it. So for me, I just like to create a little bit more just under the cheekbone, and I use the finger, my middle finger or one of my other fingers, just to pop that on underneath, blending just a little bit more. You don't have to do this, but if you want something a little bit more structured, you can definitely do that. And of course, if you feel that you haven't blended things effectively, always just grab a finger to do that. You might even feel that you want just a little bit more up in the hairline, that's completely fine too. Or you might find that you want to shrink that nose just a little bit further and pop a little bit more down the ends too. So definitely you can always add a little bit more once you've done the overall application. But for some of you that want a little bit more, just blending over the top. Now, once I have done that, I like to pop my concealer on. And a little tip for those of you that are wanting to put concealer on your eyes, obviously to hide these dark circles. If you have quite wrinkly skin, maybe you've got excess skin, maybe it's crepey or it looks quite dry and dehydrated, what my recommendation is a little bit of a different placement of the concealer. So for most of you, we pop it in the corner and we just pop it on where the dark circle is. That's completely fine, but for those of you that have more of that crepey, wrinkly skin, you might like to try doing this. So you just pop a couple of dots at the bottom here, just almost on top of the cheekbone, and one in your tear duct because we're quite red there, and also of course just a little one in the corner where we're a little bit blue. Now again, it's all about where you place products because it gives you area to blend. Now if you've got that excess skin or the crepey skin and you would apply concealer up here, you're going to get more concealer in that area and it's going to be quite concentrated, and that's what obviously leads to enhancing the look of those wrinkles or fine lines, which we don't want. So if that's an issue, by placing the concealer further and blending it up, it means it's going to conceal this dark circle, but it's going to put the minimal amount of concealer up along the lash line and of course around where the crow's feet are. So it's going to help minimize drawing any extra attention to that area. So we're blending up onto the dark circle rather than applying it onto the dark circle. And just dotting in the corner there, and of course your tear duct. So you can see that when you get your smile lines throughout the day, it's not going to draw as much attention to those areas because less product is applied up along that lash line area. So definitely a really helpful tip for those of you that are finding you want to cover your circles, but you're also finding that it's accentuating your wrinkles. So there's my tips for contouring and highlighting your face. I hope you have fun doing it. Just remember, you can't get it wrong. Just grab your kabuki brush, blend away. You can set over the top with your loose minerals if you would like to. That's completely fine, or you might also like to set your look with the matte setting powder. Again, you can put the contour stick on at the same time as your BB, the liquid or the cream, and you may also like to pop it on first, blend it just a tiny bit before you put your loose minerals on. One of the brushes that you could try using is the angle brush, which is quite it's quite a bushy brush. It's one that you can use as a highlighter as well, or just to help with the contouring. That's in the 15-piece brush kit, so you can definitely try that as well. But all in all, have fun. Just remember, you don't have to contour if you don't want to. This is just another little step along the makeup journey that you may like to try. The benefits are quite obvious. It gives a healthy, more structured looking face. And if there's any questions that you would like, please of course email us or jump on the Adorners page, which is the private community on Facebook, and I'm sure everybody there will give you a lending hand.